Ready to ditch the dating apps and try a totally different approach to finding love?
Oh, yeah.
Buckle up because today we're diving into some countries that might just pay you to move there.
Pay you to move there. Wow.
And their unique cultural landscapes might just lead you to a special someone.
Yeah.
Someone who shares your values, your outlook on life.
That sounds amazing.
Our listeners have been sending in some really interesting research
Oh.
on countries offering these incentives for relocation. And we're going to explore the intriguing intersection of these incentives with, well, the potential for finding love.
Huh. I never thought about it that way.
Particularly, and this is what I find so interesting, with older, mature partners
Really?
who really embody the local culture. We're going to focus on these unexpected connections,
The tween.
financial incentives,
Mhm.
demographics, and the unique cultural nuances that make each country special.
I'm excited. Where are we headed first?
First up, Italy.
Ah, Italy.
Picture yourself settling into a charming Italian village. Think cobblestone streets, the aroma of fresh bread and simmering sauces,
I can almost smell it now.
and a slower, more intentional pace of life.
A much-needed change of pace for many of us.
You know, many Italian villages, especially in rural areas, are facing population decline.
Oh, I didn't know that.
To combat this, they're offering financial incentives to attract new residents.
Interesting.
But it's not just about filling empty houses. It's about revitalizing these communities with new energy and perspectives.
And imagine the potential for romance.
Right. These villages are often filled with older Italians,
You are.
eager to share their culture and traditions. I'm thinking, learning to cook pasta from scratch with a passionate local.
Now that's an experience.
It's not just about moving to a new place, right? It's about immersing yourself in a culture
Where?
where connection is woven into the fabric of everyday life.
Like what kinds of things?
Well, you could join in the local passeggiata. The passeggiata, the evening stroll where everyone comes together
Oh, I see.
to chat and connect. Or participate in the lively festivals that celebrate food, family, and tradition.
Those shared experiences.
Exactly. They create a natural space for building relationships, especially with older Italians who are eager to share their culture and stories.
I can definitely see that.
Italian culture places a strong emphasis on family and community. Mealtimes are often multi-generational affairs,
Yeah, I've heard about that.
and older generations are highly respected for their wisdom and life experience.
So you might find yourself learning to cook pasta from a nonna or sharing stories over a glass of wine with someone who embodies that warmth and passion of Italian culture.
Sounds amazing.
It does.
Okay, let's shift gears to a completely different cultural landscape,
Who?
Japan.
Japan. Wow.
Known for its tranquility, respect for tradition, and, yes, incredible food. Japan is also grappling with an aging population and rural decline.
I see.
Some Japanese towns are offering relocation incentives to attract new residents, particularly young families.
Oh, interesting.
But even if starting a family isn't your goal, Japan's cultural nuances can create some unique opportunities for finding meaningful connections.
Like what?
Well, I've heard about omiai,
Omiyai.
the traditional arranged introductions. Is that still a thing?
While less common than in the past, omiyai is still practiced. And it's evolving to suit modern sensibilities.
So how does it work?
Well, think of it as a personalized matchmaking service,
Oh, okay.
where families or trusted individuals play a role in connecting people who share similar values and goals.
And Japanese culture highly values respect, commitment, and long-term compatibility,
Right. So it's not about instant sparks
but about building a foundation.
based on shared values, exactly.
You could attend a traditional tea ceremony or participate in a local festival.
And through those shared experiences, you might meet someone who appreciates the same things you do.
It's a very different approach.
It is.
Okay, Japan has definitely piqued my interest. Now let's soak up some sun in Portugal.
Portugal. Nice.
Stunning beaches, vibrant cities, a relaxed vibe. Portugal has become a haven for expats from all over the world.
And there are concrete reasons for that. Portugal's Golden Visa program offers a path to residency, investors and entrepreneurs. And there are also grants designed to attract foreigners to settle in smaller towns, to revitalize rural communities.
It's not just about city life, though.
Absolutely not. There's a whole other side of Portugal waiting to be discovered.
Like what?
Imagine exploring charming villages nestled in rolling hills, enjoying fresh seafood in seaside towns,
That sounds lovely.
or learning to play traditional fado music with locals. Older Portuguese residents often cherish community connections, and they're known for their warmth and hospitality.
So you might find yourself sharing stories over a glass of port wine with someone who embodies that relaxed and welcoming spirit of Portuguese culture.
Exactly.
Sound like the perfect blend of adventure and connection.
Hmm.
Now, I can't resist the allure of Greece.
Oh, Greece.
Those islands, that history, the food, it all speaks to the soul.
It does.
And beneath that idyllic surface lies a deep sense of community and connection.
Several Greek islands are offering subsidies to encourage settlement, particularly families.
But even if you're not relocating with children,
Yeah.
the close-knit nature of Greek communities means you're likely to be embraced with open arms.
I've heard Greek families are incredibly close. How would that play into finding love as a newcomer?
Well, imagine being invited to a traditional Greek feast, a panegyri.
A panegyri.
It's where the whole community comes together to celebrate with music, dancing, and delicious food.
Oh, wow.
Or simply being welcomed into a local cafe,
Or
a cup of strong Greek coffee and conversation. Older generations are often the heart of these communities. They share their wisdom, stories, and recipes. It's a culture where relationships are cherished and newcomers are often welcomed as part of the extended family.
that's so heartwarming.
Okay, one last stop on our global journey.
Where to?
Uruguay.
Yeah.
South America is calling.
Uruguay. I'm intrigued.
Uruguay seems to offer a unique blend of laid-back living and vibrant culture.
That sounds fantastic.
They encourage settlement in its rural areas, offering a chance to connect with nature and embrace a slower pace of life.
And I understand they've implemented initiatives to support rural entrepreneurship and community development.
Yes, and I've heard Uruguayans are incredibly friendly and welcoming,
How does that translate into the dating scene?
especially for someone looking for a meaningful connection with a mature partner.
Well, Uruguay has a strong emphasis on family and gatherings, often centered around delicious food and shared traditions.
Like what?
Think asado, the traditional barbecue, where friends and family gather to share stories, laughter, and of course, amazing grilled meats. It's a culture where people take the time to connect, and relationships are built on genuine warmth and shared experiences.
I can almost taste that asado.
It's an experience.
So you might find yourself partnering up for a tango lesson, or simply enjoying a mate. The traditional Uruguayan beverage, with someone who embodies the warmth and joie de vivre of Uruguayan culture.
Wow, we've covered a lot of ground today.
Wow.
From pasta making in Italy to tangoing in Uruguay.
It's amazing how these relocation incentives can open doors, not just to new countries, but to new ways of living and loving.
It all comes back to this.
Oh.
Which country's blend of lifestyle, incentives, and cultural values resonates most deeply with you? What kind of connection are you seeking, and where might you find it? This deep dive has hopefully given you a taste of the possibilities. Perhaps it sparked a new dream, or at the very least, a fresh perspective on how and where we can find love and connection.
That's a great thought to end on. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Thanks for having me.